All right, welcome to this weekly. Shut up! I'm trying to record, Jimmy. Anyway, we're going to be doing the parent. No, just shut up. We're going to be doing the recording this week on parenting and how you can be a better parent, such as patience. Joining me this week, Gibby.
Hi, Mom.
Tyler.
Hi, Dad?
And we're talking about people who are not in the picture anymore.
Great start.
Great start. Yelling at the child that exists and then waving to parents that have left us. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the protocols when it comes to parenting, and what two better people than these two dads and this dad who's picked up street rats and made his own. So we're going to be talking first and foremost, discipline, because that's the dad's role, right? Gibby, how do you discipline your children? And please talk directly to Child Protective Services.
I do nothing wrong.
In your robot voice?
Nothing. No, I mean, usually it's just taking screen time away, typically. Time we go in the corner. Letting them cry away for a while.
So are you the disciplinary person, or is it the other
Primarily.
one? Okay.
Primarily.
That deep voice will get you?
He just, yeah.
That's fair. You, with, like, the well-seasoned individual child.
Yes. Beat him. Beat him all the time. Just kidding. Don't do that. I mean, unless you have to. I mean, I'm cool with it. I don't, like, I'm way too early into, like, actually disciplining my child, because, like, she just, you tell her to say no, or you tell no to her, and then she just turns and gives you a fucking smile, and it's like, well, alright, do what you're doing. I don't care anymore. I don't think I'm going to be very good at disciplining my child. I'm going to be honest about that.
I'm awful at it, because, 90% of my household's toys, and yelling at them, don't touch that, it just doesn't make sense to them. And, I mean, you saw at the beginning of this recording that they don't listen to me as it is. When it comes to disciplining, though, you mentioned screen time as one of the punishments to take away. What is your protocol on screen time? There's a lot of people that say the devices are raising our children and are why they're autistic. I don't know if that's scientific or not, but as an autistic person, when it comes to screen time, what is your feelings on screen time?
I mean, I guess I don't really have much of an issue with it, because my kid doesn't go on screen time all too much unless it's, like, horrible out and he has nothing else to do, unfortunately. But, yeah, I mean, he doesn't really... I mean, he plays on my computer once in a while. He watches YouTube too much, in my opinion, but, he's watching... He knows shit that I don't know already. It's depressing.
About life in general or video games?
He was telling us about the Statue of Liberty the other day, and I'm like, you've never even been there. And I've been there, and he knows more about it than I do. And I'm just like, I give up. I'm tapping.
Sounds like a good screen time.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the problem is he's got a bunch of those things that he watches.
That's the good facts that he pops out. But wait until the
bad facts.
The amount of porn this kid watches is
know,
just
right?
ridiculous for a 6-year-old.
Dad, I was on your computer, and
what is this bird fetish you have?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a lot of it, especially with YouTube, you kind of have to keep an eye on what they're watching.
I have found in our long history of recording things, they never find the stuff we do.
No, they don't.
It's fantastic. They're on there for hours. They can give you hours of views, but they never find your shit.
Wait, we have stuff on the internet?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
No.
I didn't know that. I've never found it.
So, with your well-aged child, how do you feel about screen time?
We try to avoid it as much as possible. Like, when she, like, gives her attention to our phones, we take her, like, we just, like, move our phones. That way she's not, like, attached to the screen. I mean, I don't know if you count TV as screen time, because that's, like, kind of always going, but she doesn't really pay attention to it. She's more interested in commercials than, like, the actual, like, TV shows.
Wade was a big Arby's person, as well as the Burger King theme. Yeah, he jammed out to that always.
Disney's, like, all their, like, musical, like, commercials get her attention, but, she could watch Disney Channel and just be TV all day, pay zero attention to it.
Yeah.
Zero. So, I mean, our goal is to, like, not really, like, make her feel dependent on screen time. I don't want her to, like, oh, I need screen time in order to not be freaking out at a restaurant. Like, she's going to be sitting there playing with her toys, or, like, she's not getting screen time.
That's fair. Avoid Coco Melon as a pro tip because it's
a good
annoying.
pro tip.
It's a terrible show. They take a lot of songs you think you know the words to, and then they change the words. I don't know how they can legally do that.
Yeah, Sam turned that on the other day. I said, nope, we're not doing this. Bluey again.
Bluey is absolutely a go-to. Here comes the grannies. Anyway, the next protocol we're going to talk about is our childhood collectively versus theirs. And this is interesting because you were born around Prohibition and you were born in the 90s. So we're going to get kind of two different childhoods here. How do you feel your childhood was compared to what your child's is going to be?
Their childhood's going to suck. Like, just between like every like go back to screen time. Like every kid nowadays is dependent on video games and doing stuff inside where it's like you don't see them outside doing. I feel like an old person right now. Like, oh, go out and play, but like that's literally what she's going to do. Like she's going out to play and she's going to go play in the yard, kick rocks, figuratively and literally. I don't care. Rather than being playing video games all day, like there'll be a time for it, but it's not going to be like the consistent go-to.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't know. I mean, outside of like society, just in general, like I just feel like we had a better childhood.
So when you were playing with your stick and hoop and you were running down the streets that were cobble,
That's right.
how do you feel it was different than what your child is currently growing through? And do you feel like they're missing out on the stick and hoop?
Well, I will say I will agree with you on some aspects of that,
Stick and hoop?
except for having the kids go outside and play. The problem is overall majority of people don't let their kids go outside and play, and then your kid is the only one that has a kid that goes outside and play, and they get bored so quickly because there's no one to play with.
Kick fucking rocks, bro. That's
It's
why
actually
I said that.
it's mind-boggling
Stick
to
and
me.
hoop.
Yeah, because like I'll go to like the park right down the road from me, and it's like almost never is anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of crazy because there's a ton of kids in this little general vicinity that should
but
be
there's also
there.
a lot of crackheads in this general vicinity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But it is kind of interesting. And even when you go to like the actual bigger parks, there's not as many kids there as like when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we were kids, like those parks were always swamped.
I need you to stop with this Wii shit. I didn't have a stick and hoop. I had a PlayStation.
That's fine. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah. And the parks now are a lot bigger and have a lot more activities
They
to
have
do
cooler
there.
shit now, and they
much
just
cooler.
don't use it.
Yeah, and it's like that. Yeah, they don't use it. They don't even,
Are you saying tetanus wasn't cool? Because we had a lot of tetanus back then. Every time I went somewhere, I had to get a tetanus shot.
They don't have tetanus here, man. These parks nowadays have got more fucking padding you can shake a stick.
Luxury. Splinters and tetanus. All you got when we were children.
You used to have to go sit down on a slide and your ass would burn. Now it's all plastic.
Yeah, no burnt ass really kind of sucks.
The last protocol we have when it comes to parenting, and I do feel like this will be a two-parter topic at some point down the road, but I want to talk about schooling. So statistically, every generation will think that they are had it tougher in school, which to an extent you did, but at the same time, kids now have more technology, as we talked with screen time. When it comes to schooling, are our kids dumber? Gibby, we'll start with you.
I mean, statistically they are. I mean, you can even go on to our website for where we're at, and you can see that less and less kids are meeting proficiency.
Oh no, I got one of them.
Yeah, it's like it was pretty flatlined, and then COVID happened, and then that shit tanked.
That's just a nice little crutch to hang on to. He was dumb before COVID.
Well, no, I mean you can literally look at the statistics, and it.
I just feel like as a society, like everything just is oversimplified.
Mm-hmm.
Like now they're just trying to simplify it, give you the basics, and like that's it. Where like they don't go into detail of actually teaching these kids. They just go, okay, here you go on your tablet and finish this project, and it's like.
Well, now the problem is you can just like even when you're in school now, there's all these AI things that you can just give it the prompts of the problem, and it just gives you the answer. So they're not actually learning. All they know how to do is interact with an AI device to actually give answers.
It goes back to when we used to take tests, and they'd be like, "Oh, you won't have a calculator with you every day," and it's like, "Well, now I do, bro. Like it's literally in my phone. I can use a calculator every day, and I don't need to worry about anything."
I thoroughly agree. Not that I would do this, but ChatGPT is very helpful when you're writing things for maybe a work or an essay, or definitely not work that I don't do. But when it comes to AI, do you think in an extent, as we talk more about the schooling protocol, they're learning different skills? We are kind of a transitionary generation, maybe not so much you, Stick and Hope, But when it comes to, like, we had the manual processes and we watched technology advance at a quick pace. These kids are coming into technology at a quick pace. So they are more proficient in things like, I don't know, making a video and getting it on YouTube and getting it successful. Whereas we had the opportunity to start on YouTube when YouTube was a thing. We did not cash in.
Nope.
But do you think their proficiencies are just in different areas and the people that are teaching them just can't keep up with it?
This is going to get on politics, man. But
Well, not so much politics because I'm dealing with it at work
like,
in previous jobs.
like, I don't know if you guys seen the Tesla. They just released their robot, their manual robot that does work.
Yeah, I believe it's called
basically.
Elon.
I don't remember what it's called, but like we're vastly heading down the path of automation of everything. Because like one of the East Coast port strikes obviously just happened. So I don't know when it's coming out exactly, but it was relatively recently. And the biggest sticking point that they had was automation inside of the ports.
Well, that was the whole writer strike too. They
writer
were
strike
upset
again
about
is
the
about
AI.
the AI stuff. So a lot of the, like, I guess if you're in a union, you might be somewhat more beneficial to this, to where it's not going to start replacing it. But like even when you look at McDonald's, what in the world, children?
Children are the worst.
But like even if you look inside of McDonald's and stuff, I mean they got a freaking robot now that makes the fries, etc. So
They do?
yeah.
I don't eat McDonald's, so I wouldn't know.
You go inside McDonald's, you can't. There's no one even to talk to. You order on a machine.
So
That
you
sounds
mean to
great.
tell me
Yeah.
I can send my under 1-year-old to go work at McDonald's for this 20 an hour bullshit that they fought for?
The problem is,
I
there's no one
love it.
There's like no one working there anymore. Like
Does the
that's
food get better?
basically. No, I don't think so. My kid still loves fucking Happy Meals, but I usually get Taco Bell.
That's
They're
not,
not
that's not a
automated.
step up.
They're
You
not
spoke,
automated.
you spoke like you're on a different class by eating Taco Bell over someone who
Yeah.
eats McDonald's.
But yeah, so you're going down that path of what kind of education do kids nowadays realistically need?
Tech.
Yeah. Well, do they? Or do they need to understand the ability of how to fix the tech?
Or they can learn how to YouTube and then teach me.
Yeah.
To
That's
give
the
you
thing. Like I feel like that's what it is, though. I feel like they are shifting towards tech, and they're losing, basic skills.
Mhm.
They're losing like you're gonna lose having a plumber, having like common jobs like that. They're going away
Mhm.
from, and everyone wants to be, an AI, whatever, or be a social media person, and it's just like. It's just like you still need the basic functions of the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they're going away from teaching them that completely.
I mean, I think when they poll kids, the biggest thing they want to be is an influencer. Like that's the number one job. Whereas you go back 20, 30 years ago, it's like a cop, a policeman, astronaut, etc.
Or actor.
Actor, I guess. Well, that's in theory. It's.
I mean,
the
they
modern
are
day influencer.
successfully influencing Congress to ban the thing they want to be an influencer on, so they're doing a hell of a job as it comes to it.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's going to bring this week's episode of The Protocol to a close with two of the finest parents I know, Stick and Hoop versus Tyler. When it comes to The Protocol and what we're going and what we're doing, Gibby, what do you got to plug?
I'm here.
That's fantastic. I'm just glad you've elevated from being like a chicken farmer to just here. It's so much better.
I know.
Tyler, what you got going on?
Still searching for my dad. I feel like that's pretty appropriate for this episode. So if you're watching, what's up, dude? Other than that, you should listen to / you can watch Jersey Phanatics. Yeah, that's it.
On BPP Pods. And check out everything on basementprotocolproductions.com and facebook.com/basementprotocolproductions. This has been this week's Weekly Protocol. We'll see you next week, guys.